I just sort of started. Through his years of acting, he never went to drama school, so he doesn't have like a certain way of teaching me.
Mr. Coxman?
What can I do for you?
For 15 years, Liam Neeson carried a heavy truth. Too heavy to bear, so heavy he could barely frame the words to friends, family, or even the fans who adored him. But his son, who had to watch his father and respect his silent wish, now decides to break the silence, revealing the hidden pain that shaped one of Hollywood's most powerful men.
I just told her I loved her, said, sweetie, you're not coming back from this. You've banged your head. I don't know if you can hear me, but this is what's gone down.
What did Michael Neeson finally uncover? And why did it take him so long to speak the truth? People thought they knew Liam Neeson, the Hollywood icon with the unmistakable voice and the unstoppable screen presence. They saw the stoic father, the grieving widower, the man who could turn pain into power. But behind all of that was a hidden promise, one that shaped every decision he made after tragedy struck. Stay tuned for the details. Liam Neeson's story begins in the most unlikely place imaginable. Long before Liam Neeson became the face of action movies or won hearts in Schindler's List, he was doing something that could have gotten him killed. Growing up as a Catholic in Protestant-dominated Ballymena, Northern Ireland, young Liam was secretly sneaking into enemy territory. His target wasn't a building or a person to harm. It was Ian Paisley's church. Paisley was the most dangerous Protestant preacher in Northern Ireland, a man who actively hunted Catholics like Neeson's family. While bombs exploded around his neighborhood and Catholic neighbors were being murdered during the Troubles, Liam was studying his community's greatest enemy. Born on June 7, 1952, to school caretaker Bernard Barney Neeson and cook Catherine Kitty Neeson, Liam grew up with three sisters, Elizabeth, Bernadette, and Rosaline. His mother brought Southern Irish roots from Waterford, but their family felt like second-class citizens in their town. Named after a local priest, Liam attended St. Patrick's College from 1963 to 1967, but his real education was happening elsewhere. He would sneak into Paisley's church and watch the fiery founder of the Democratic Unionist Party preach. While 13 protesters died on Bloody Sunday in 1972 and violence surrounded his daily life, Neeson was mesmerized by the man who represented everything his people feared. He called Paisley's delivery great acting. This dangerous fascination would shape his entire career. But Liam had another obsession that nearly killed him first. At All Saints Youth Club, under his parish priest's guidance, he was crushing it as a boxer. By the age of 9, he was in the ring, trading punches in front of roaring crowds at local clubs. He became Northern Ireland's junior champion 3 times and idolized Muhammad Ali. Boxing wasn't just a hobby. He was genuinely good at it and dreamed of following in Ali's footsteps. Everything changed at age 17 during what seemed like a routine fight. A devastating concussion left Liam so brain-scrambled he couldn't understand basic words. When his trainer told him to go downstairs and change, Liam literally couldn't comprehend what downstairs meant. The foggy, confused feeling lasted for terrifying minutes that felt like hours. That moment forced him to abandon his boxing dreams completely. He realized that if he couldn't fully commit to the training, it was dangerous to continue. So he stepped away from the ring and embraced the stage, using lessons learned from studying the man who represented everything his people feared. However, there was this phase in between the patchwork of jobs: forklift driver, truck loader, and even a teacher in training. Nothing felt permanent. Nothing hinted at the global fame that awaited him. Then came the moment that changed his trajectory. a small role in a local theater production. The shocking truth Hollywood would later bury was that their future megastar never attended drama school. Everything he knew about acting came from watching a controversial preacher and working manual labor. After starting physics and computer science at Queen's University Belfast in 1971, Neeson quit academia for the Guinness Brewery, hauling beer barrels and doing back-breaking work. Even during those grueling days, he kept his acting dreams alive. The stage became his new arena. He wasn't fighting opponents anymore. He was wrestling with characters, emotions, and stories. Soon, the young man from Ballymena found himself performing in Belfast, Dublin, and eventually London. The film industry took notice. A football scout from Bohemian FC spotted his athletic talent, leading to a substitute game against Shamrock Rovers FC. But no contract offer came, and it seemed fate had other plans. In 1976, he joined Belfast's Lyric Players Theatre for 2 years, making his stage debut. The work was steady, but unremarkable. Moving to Dublin in 1978, he performed in Seaward Says He by Ron Hutchinson about the troubles at the Project Art Centre. He joined Ireland's prestigious Abbey Theatre and performed in translations by Brian Friel, alongside Stephen Rea and Ray McAnally. His film debut came playing Jesus Christ in 1977's Pilgrim's Progress. But everything changed when filmmaker John Boorman saw him as Lenny Small in Of Mice and Men. Boorman cast him as Sir Gawain in Excalibur in 1981, launching his film career. Moving to London, Liam lived with Helen Mirren from 1982 to 1987, after meeting her on the Excalibur set. He built his reputation steadily in major films: The Bounty with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins, and The Mission with Robert De Niro and Jeremy Irons. He even guest-starred on Miami Vice in 1986 before making the crucial move to Hollywood. His American breakthrough came in Suspect in 1987 with Cher and Dennis Quaid, followed by The Dead Pool in 1988 with Clint Eastwood. He starred in Sam Raimi's Darkman in 1990. But despite these successes, he wasn't quite a household name yet. Then came Steven Spielberg's shocking decision that would change everything. The legendary director was casting for Schindler's List and had his pick of megastars. Kevin Costner, Mel Gibson, and Warren Beatty all wanted the role. Beatty even auditioned for it. But Spielberg saw something special in the untrained manual laborer from Northern Ireland. After watching Liam perform in Broadway's Anna Christie, Spielberg knew he had found his Oscar Schindler. The decision stunned Hollywood insiders, who expected a bigger name to land such a prestigious role. December 1992 brought Liam the role that would define his career. He threw himself into studying Thomas Keneally's book, understanding how Schindler enjoyed fooling the ZIAs to save over 1,000 Jewish lives during the Holocaust. His performance earned critical acclaim, an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, a BAFTA, and Golden Globe nominations. The film won Best Picture in 1993, making him one of Hollywood's most sought-after stars. But that same year brought something even more life-changing than career success. During Anna Christie on Broadway, Liam met Natasha Richardson, a 29-year-old English actress who would completely upend his bachelor lifestyle. She would define his greatest joys and his deepest heartbreak. Natasha Richardson wasn't just another co-star. She was theater royalty, the daughter of actress Vanessa Redgrave and director Tony Richardson. But titles didn't matter to her. What struck Liam most was her warmth. She had that rare mix of elegance and approachability, the kind of person who could walk into a room and make everyone feel seen. Also, Richardson was married to producer Robert Fox, but was in the process of getting divorced. Despite Neeson's reputation as Hollywood's confirmed bachelor, their chemistry was undeniable from the first moment they shared the stage. "I'd never had that kind of explosive chemistry situation with an actor or actress," Liam would later admit. The attraction was so intense that it scared him. He had spent years avoiding serious relationships, content with his freedom and career focus. Natasha wasn't intimidated by other women falling for Liam. She famously declared, "I'm pleased that women fall in love with him because I know why." Her confidence and understanding of his appeal only made her more attractive to him. Their on-stage chemistry blossomed into a real-life romance that consumed both of them. Friends watched in amazement as the confirmed bachelor fell completely under Natasha's spell. She represented everything he hadn't known he was missing: intelligence, wit, beauty, and a deep understanding of the acting world they both inhabited. They married in 1994 on a charming farm in northern New York State, far from Hollywood's glare. Natasha expressed her disbelief at finding such love, saying, "I can't believe I was lucky enough to meet my soulmate." Their bond was so strong that they starred together in Nell alongside Jodie Foster that same year, proving their chemistry translated perfectly to film. Family life came quickly and joyfully. They welcomed son Michael in 1995 and Daniel in 1996. For 15 years, they were Hollywood's model couple, deeply in love, despite fame, busy schedules, and the pressures that destroy most entertainment industry marriages. They served as proof that true soulmate love could thrive in the entertainment world. But their love was so intense and complete that they made a pact no couple ever wants to consider. They agreed that if either of them ever ended up in a vegetative state, the other would make the impossible choice to end life support. It seemed like an abstract promise at the time, something that would never be tested. For 15 years, their marriage was a mix of passion, respect, and unspoken trust. Then came March 2009, the day everything changed. March 2009 started as a normal family ski trip in Quebec, Canada. The kind of vacation successful families take without thinking twice about potential dangers. Natasha was an experienced skier, comfortable on most slopes. She decided to take a run on a beginner's trail, probably to warm up or enjoy an easy, relaxing descent. The fall seemed completely harmless at first. She wasn't wearing a helmet, which wasn't unusual for recreational skiers at the time. When she hit her head, she got up, brushed herself off, and seemed perfectly fine. First responders approached to check on her, but she turned down their help with a smile and a wave. Liam was in Toronto filming Chloe when Natasha called to reassure him about the minor tumble. Her voice sounded normal, cheerful even. She told him not to worry, that it was nothing serious. He went back to work, thinking nothing more of it. But hours later, everything went catastrophically wrong. Natasha started feeling unwell, complaining of a severe headache. Her condition deteriorated rapidly. She lost consciousness and slipped into a coma from an epidural hematoma. Blood accumulating between her skull and the brain's outer membrane. The call that shattered Liam's world came while he was still on set. Medical professionals explained that Natasha's condition was critical and that she needed to get to Montreal immediately. Racing from his film set, he caught the first available flight, praying the entire journey that his wife would be okay when he arrived. The hospital scene was every spouse's nightmare. Liam arrived to find Natasha connected to machines, her body kept alive by life support. The doctors delivered devastating news with clinical precision. She had suffered severe brain injury and was effectively brain dead. The machines were the only things keeping her body functioning. Facing the most heartbreaking moment imaginable, Liam remembered their pact. Standing by her bedside, surrounded by the antiseptic smell of the hospital and the rhythmic beeping of machines, he spoke to his wife, knowing she couldn't respond. "Sweetie, you're not coming back from this," he said softly. "I don't know if you can hear me, but this is what's happened." The words came out steady, but inside, he was falling apart. This was the woman he had never expected to find, the love that had changed his entire outlook on life. With heavy hearts, Liam and Natasha's family made the decision to let her go peacefully. Even in death, Natasha continued touching lives the way she had in life. She donated 3 organs, her heart, kidneys, and liver, saving the lives of 3 complete strangers. Her final act was one of generosity and hope. The world saw the public grief, the quiet man breaking down as cameras followed him at her funeral. But what they didn't see was that her death reopened something deeper, something connected to a part of Liam's life that almost no one knew about. The tragedy left Liam as a suddenly single father to traumatized sons Michael, who was 13, and Daniel, who was 12. They faced an unimaginable situation that no amount of wealth or fame could soften. Their mother was gone, their family was broken, and their father was drowning in grief while trying to hold everything together. Instead of crumbling completely, the family pulled together with exceptional support from Natasha's mother, renowned actress Vanessa Redgrave, and her sister, Joelle Richardson. They embodied the compassion and unity that Natasha would have wanted, creating a support system that helped the boys process their devastating loss. But the real story, the one that would remain hidden for over a decade, was what happened inside Liam's mind and heart. The revelation that would eventually shatter fans came when Michael Neeson grew old enough to understand and articulate what his father had been going through all these years. Michael exposed the true extent of his father's private hell. Liam still expected to hear Natasha's keys hitting the table when he came home. He would pause at the sound of footsteps, thinking she was calling from another room. Sometimes he would hear the front door open and turn expectantly, as if she might walk through it with groceries or stories from her day. After Natasha's death, Liam Neeson seemed to move through the world like a man carrying invisible weight. In interviews, he would speak of her in the present tense, as if some part of him refused to accept she was gone. His career didn't slow down. In fact, it accelerated. He threw himself into work, often filming back-to-back projects. Friends said it wasn't ambition driving him, it was distraction. The set was the one place where the silence of his empty home couldn't reach him. Yet, no matter how many years passed, he never remarried. The tabloids speculated endlessly, linking him to co-stars, old friends, and even complete strangers. Each time he brushed it off. "You feel like a 3-legged table," Liam confessed to his son during one of their many difficult conversations. "Just suddenly you feel like the earth isn't stable anymore." The metaphor perfectly captured the sensation of losing the person who had been his foundation, his balance, and his center of gravity. Grief would hit him unexpectedly, even during professional moments. He would be in the middle of filming a scene when a wave of loss would wash over him, making everything feel unstable and unreal. Directors learned to recognize the signs and give him moments to collect himself. To cope and avoid wallowing in front of his boys, Liam threw himself into work with unprecedented intensity. He appeared in nearly 50 films since 2009, an almost superhuman work schedule that kept his mind occupied and his emotions channeled into characters and stories. Just months after Natasha's death, Taken catapulted him into an unlikely new phase as an action star. The timing wasn't coincidental. The physical demands and emotional intensity of action filmmaking provided an outlet for his overwhelming grief. Unknown, The Gray, Non-Stop, and The Commuter followed, each film allowing him to channel his pain into compelling performances. And now, let's return to the moment we've been waiting for as Liam Neeson's son finally speaks up. What Michael revealed would change the way fans saw his father forever. The irony wasn't lost on those who knew him best. Liam had become an action hero not through careful career planning, but as a survival mechanism. The roles that required him to be strong, determined, and relentless on screen helped him embody those qualities in real life. The irony wasn't lost on those who knew him best. Liam had become an action hero, not through careful career planning, but as a survival mechanism. The roles that required him to be strong, determined, and relentless on screen helped him embody those qualities in real life. What do you think about Liam Neeson's decision to never remarry? And how do you feel about Michael sharing such personal details of his father's grief after so many years? Let's know your thoughts in the comments. So, thanks for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.